It all started from a simple idea. The idea that we could someday bring animals back to life after death. Imagine, all species unafraid of becoming endangered or extinct. It would be truly amazing. Everyone could drink, smoke, and we wouldn't have to worry about the consequences, because we would have a new kidney waiting for us in the ER. But that is just a mere fantasy. Wait, genetic scientists are telling us that we could actually make this happen. Geneticists have been playing the part of God, trying to recreate species that have been dead for more than a century. If they were successful in bringing back these species, would they be the same? Why is it necessary to break the course that Mother Nature must take? Maybe we just need to realize that we cannot overthrow Mother Nature and the part she plays in the evolution of all living things. Humans should not play God. After all, animals go extinct for a reason. In this speech, I will explore the harsh realities faced in doing these projects, consider the benefits that may be involved, and the consequences that will follow. I will enlighten you with the focuses that scientists have, and the ones they probably should have. I hope to encourage you to see the flaws involved in this controversial pursuit. According to the National Geographic, the Ectopistis migratorius, more commonly known as the passenger pigeon, grew extinct under the pressure of savage hunting in the 20th century. People don't think about the consequences that these projects could actually have. If the passenger pigeon could not withstand the harsh conditions of being hunted and grew extinct, it means that it was not adapting fast enough. If put in the modern environment now, it would react exponentially hostile. The passenger pigeon, like today's modern pigeon, is very aggressive, especially when frightened or startled by their surroundings. What would happen if it wandered off into a busy city, or got too excited by the children at the local zoo? Let's just say it won't go very well. Why do we need to create a whole new species of pigeon when we have one here today? The environmental issues are what makes this testament invalid. If the passenger pigeon could not withstand the harsh conditions of being hunted and grew extinct, it means that it was I just said that, didn't I? Okay. Then they would both be brought down, and we would lose the pigeon that was meant to be here. People say that we write our own future, but the way that the majority sees it, this is not the right way to do so. Some of you may have heard of the woolly mammoth carcass that was unearthed by scientists from the Siberian Northeastern Federal University in May of 2013. After fully excavating the animal they now call Buttercup, she had oozed a dark red liquid, thought to have been fresh blood. The Mother Nature Network stated that the sample was one of the best ever found. Buttercup's DNA revealed to have long strands of genomes that could have good promise in the duplicating process. Nonetheless, there have been many other samples that ooze blood just like Buttercup, but were contaminated by bacteria or lack of care. It should be concerning to us that the only thing keeping scientists from doing these projects is the ability to do so, not the possibility that doing so will harm the environment. Even though scientists have ran through all of the logical scenarios of what could possibly go wrong, they still really only focus on the fact that they can recreate these species. What will happen after they engineer them? They will disrupt nature from running its course. What will happen then? Will the human race as well be affected by this change in environment? I cannot fully answer these questions up to par, but all that these tests have ever implemented were theories, and if scientists realize the harm, that is all that they will ever be. Also added to the National Geographic Online article, on July 30th, 2003, Spanish and French scientists brought the bucardo, or Pyrenean ibex, back to life after extinction. The ibex lived in the Pyrenees mountain range that divides Spain and France, until humans invented guns. Hunters hunted these animals down until there were just a few left. Then there was just one. Celia is what they called her. A wildlife team from the Ordesa and Monte Perdido National Park put a radio collar on her neck, then released her back into the wild. After a few short months, the radio collar let out a steady, recurring beep. Celia had died, and the Pyrenean ibex has gone officially extinct. Fernandez Arias, one of many passionate researchers, believes that de-extinction will prevent humans from doing what we did to the Pyrenean ibex, and hopefully a various amount of other animals in the near future. It is a course of nature for an animal to bring down another animal. It is a way of life, all natural. Don't we want to keep it that way? If we do these projects, it will take away the factor that makes life, life. Scientists have been doing projects in our own body as well. They have been cloning bacteria, stem cells, and entire organs. This process is known as somatic cell nuclear transfer, SCNT, or therapeutic cloning. The organs would be used during a transplant to replace your original organs. These tests have done many people very good. Maybe even someone that you know today. These tests have saved many people. But how far are they willing to go? Maybe this is where the configurations must end. Saving someone singularly is not as impractical as saving something that is far from salvageable. Maybe this is the fine line between ignorance and integrity. According to Change.org, Oxitec, a British company, is planning on releasing genetically modified mosquitoes in the Florida Keys this spring to lessen a disease known as dengue fever. After all negative input that the locals and scientific community has given the company, Oxitec still stays defiant. Dengue fever has been absent in the Florida Keys for many years, and many people do not see the need for such a rapid approach with these mosquitoes that have not been peer-reviewed by any source other than Oxitec. They are very private with their research, with no viable reason that anyone knows but the company. What is the need for this privacy? Are they afraid of the opinionated criticism that the citizens will give? If so, don't they think that the people should know what is happening? It is a mystery that needs to be solved for the people, the company, and the overall environment. Whenever the human race has tried to duplicate an extant or extinct animal, something has gone wrong one way or another. In many ways, you can tell that Mother Nature was not meant to be tampered with, or she'll bite back. Scientists have dealt with these problems throughout their career. So why do they do it? Maybe they're afraid of dying, or they want to become famous, or they simply want to help mankind. But no matter their reason, it is not a justified clause, because no matter the input they have in this project, the outcome will be detrimental.